Hello, and welcome to the 388th Annual Scientists and Philosophers Banquet. I'm your host, Kevin Roach. Next, we'll present the award of forging new paths of thinking and understanding to one of the most influential scientists of all time, England's own Sir Isaac Newton. His discoveries in optics, motions, and mathematics developed theories that led to significant breakthroughs in the understanding of our universe. If you manage to keep awake for the entire presentation, you'll be able to witness a staged debate between Sir Isaac Newton and Bill Nye. And yes, this is the first time that an Irishman presented an award for an Englishman and an award in science. Sir Isaac Newton was born on Christmas of 1642 according to the old Julian calendar in Westhorpe, England. Newton's father died 3 months before he was born. At age 3, his mother remarried and left young Newton to grow up in the care of his grandmother. Growing up without parents led to Newton's insecurity and obsession in defense of his work. Isaac Newton attended the University of Cambridge Trinity College. During his studies, Newton took an 18-month hiatus where he did research to create a theory of light and color. It was also said that this is when Newton's famous story of the apple falling on his head occurred. Newton's professional career took off shortly upon returning to Cambridge. He received his Master's of Arts in 1669. The first major achievement Newton had was in optics, where he created a reflecting telescope that helped prove his theory of light and color. His notes on the theory were published later after a part of Newton's optics. This was the beginning of a lifetime rivalry between Newton and Robert Hooke, a member of the Royal Society who also studied optics and disagreed with Newton's work. After a series of back and forth between the two scientists, Newton suffered a complete nervous breakdown in 1678. His mother died the year following. This was the beginning of a 6-year and nearly complete isolation from intellectual exchange. Newton returned to his study of gravity and planetary motion during this hiatus. In 1687, after nearly 2 straight years of intense work, Newton published what is said to be the single most influential book in all of science. In English, it is The Mathematical Principles of Natural Philosophy. The book contains information on nearly all of the essential concepts of physics. This includes Newton's 3 basic laws of motion, how the planets are kept in orbit by the sun's gravity, and how the moon of Earth and the moons of Jupiter revolve. Again in 1693, Newton fell into another nervous breakdown. He wrote letters to his friends accusing them of betrayal and conspiracy. He recovered rather quickly, wrote letters of apologies to his friends, and was back within months. This is when Newton lost interest of scientific problems. 3 years later, Newton obtained the governmental position he sought, Warden of the Mint. Another 3 years after that, Newton was promoted to Master of the Mint, a position he held until his death. In 1703, Newton was elected President of the Royal Society, and in 1705, he was knighted by Queen Anne of England. This shifted Newton's career from science to politics. In Newton's later years, not much excitement took place in his life. He never married and had few friends. Even a few of those friends he did have worried about his mental health. He died on March 31st, 1727, in London, England. Though Newton was very socially off and awkward, he was one of the greatest scientists of all time, whose fame continued to grow long after his death. Now, a promise is a promise.
Hitting my stride. What'd you do with the back half of your life? You freaked out, started counting coins for the bank, and you sure didn't have no wife. Oh, you wrote a book on gravity, but you couldn't attract nobody. Your work on orbits was exemplary, but your circle of friends was shoddy. Oh, you don't wanna mess with the guy Bill Nye. A rap sharp like a needle in your arm. I'll stick to drinking that mercury, cause I hypothesize that you're about to get beat.
Well, I conclude that your methods are the whack. You wouldn't even pass in one of my classes. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction, except for when we both start rapping. I accelerated the minds of mankind to a higher plane of understanding, and I can't calculate the weight and the size and the shape of the shadow of the mind you're standing in. And I will leave you with a page from a book I wrote at half your age to rebut. The integral CY from 0 to 1/6 of pi of such a base E are the square root of 3 times the 64th power of 1.